Morning everyone, it's 4 AM and I'm actually happy about being up, which can mean only one thing. I'm off on another adventure and I'm joined by my good friend and now owner of his very own fledgling YouTube channel, Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels. Hello. We are off to Spain for another press do. We're very, very lucky, you see. We get looked after very, very well by a lot of manufacturers, well, a few manufacturers at this stage. There's one in particular that we really, really get on well with, which is Kia. So we thought while we were filming this video, because we're trying to do something a little bit different with this video, and Kia are nice enough to allow us to do that. So what we're going to do is we're filming our main video, but we're also going to be filming this, which is a little behind the scenes look at what goes on and what happens on a press day. So those of you that are sort of starting YouTube, you sort of wonder what happens when you actually get invited onto an event, how they work, how they run, all that sort of stuff, you can find out. And just for those of you at home who are a little bit interested about how the whole thing goes together, the whole process, I thought it'd be nice to make this little video just displaying how that happens. Now, for those of you that are watching this that aren't familiar with the channel, at the time of filming, we literally just yesterday crossed over the 25,000 subscribers mark. So if you're one of those, thank you very much. And if you're not, please do hit that button and hit subscribe, because that's going to allow us, with any luck, to continue making more content and more videos just like this. So we're currently in the back of a lovely Vauxhall. Is it an Insignia?
It's a Skoda Superb.
Sorry, it's a Skoda Superb. Sorry, it's a Skoda Superb. I'm just insulted our driver by insinuating that he might have a Vauxhall.
Oh, you praised me.
So we're in the back of a lovely Skoda Superb. Actually, the Skoda Superb, I'm going to be doing a review on one of those in a little bit. Actually, quite good cars, actually excellent taxi cabs, as it happens. So we're heading off to Heathrow Airport. Yes, we've got up at about 3:30. Well, I was up at 3:30, and Laurie was up even earlier than that because he drove to me. And we're heading off to the airport now, where we shall meet the team in the lounge, and we will then get a flight over to Barcelona. So we will reconvene at the airport.
Hey James, you're going up in this world.
We're now in a very familiar sight to any frequent business traveller, the airport lounge, specifically the #1 lounge at Terminal 3 at Heathrow. Most companies that you fly with will put you in one of these places. It's a very good meeting place, and also you can get food, drink and breakfast and so on. This one's quite strange. They have a little breakfast menu and you can order one thing from it, but there's also a selection of continental stuff, and Laurie has already helped himself to a few pastries and muffins and things. Now, I know it might seem like a really super glamorous, lovely life getting flown all over the place, and it is really, really wonderful. For people like myself that don't get to do it all that often, you know, we get flown maybe 2 or 3 times a year by companies at the minute, if we're lucky, and it's a lovely, novel experience. I saw that Shmi, I think, did 52 flights or something like that last year, so you can imagine that this does eventually get quite tiring when you're having to constantly get in cars, go to airports, fly, sometimes quite a long way. If you're flying to Dubai or places like that, it's a long flight, and that can really take it out of you, and then you do begin to see why people insist on travelling business class all the time, because very often you might be flying straight from one event to another, and you need to get some rest in, and, well, sleeping on the plane can sometimes be the only sleep that you're going to get. So our departure gate's not even going to be here for about another hour, so the next update is going to come when we've got that, and we're flying to Barcelona, so it's only about an hour and a half or 2 hour flight. It's not long.
That's fine, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Don't need a paper, you can't read.
Oh, thanks. Fun fact, I was told by my grandmother once there used to be a ventriloquist on the radio, and he was rubbish.
I think I've heard of this guy, and he got a TV series, and he was awful.
Yes,
he was fine on the radio.
No, apparently he was awful on the radio. We're now in Baggage Claim, a place that I'm sure is familiar to all of you watching, where we are waiting for our kit to turn up. You see, one of the problems that we have is, although we're only away for a couple of days on this trip, we have to take all of the camera kit and stuff that we take for basically any video that we do. So I've got like 3 shirts and the bag weighs 17 kilos because of all of the stuff that's in it. Now, the way a lot of these dues work is that the team that organised, in this case the Kia PR team, will have been here for a while. In fact, they've been here for over a week already, and they are hosting everyone that's come here. So there's 3 rotations of people that come out. So when you book onto these events, you have a choice of a couple of different things to come out on. So, you know, you could have come out on, say, Monday, and then you go back on Tuesday. You could come out on Tuesday, go back on Wednesday. Some press stuff is just a one day, like fly out early in the morning, fly back in the evening. Most stuff, most of the stuff that I've done, you kind of stay overnight, which is a bit better. It gives you a little bit more time. However, one of the issues that we have as YouTubers is that a lot of these events are still set up very much for your traditional journalists, the people that will come out, drive the cars, think about it over a nice dinner, and then go home and write about it for their respective magazine, use a couple of sometimes like pre-given photos. So you get a media pack, so I'll have photos, the occasional bit of video in them to help you illustrate your article, or some of the guys bring photographers out if it's bigger publications. But we obviously don't have the luxury of doing that. We have to do everything ourselves. We have to do everything while we have the car. If we want to talk about the car or do a shot or something, we have to do it while we get the vehicle. And so for that reason, on this particular trip, we've been allowed to do something just a little bit different and a little bit off-piste. So we're going to be showing you exactly what that is and how Kia are being very nice to us in a minute when we've got our bags.
Kia do. It says Kia, because that's probably something to do with us.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I like that advert. That's really good.
That's a particularly good thing.
Brought to you by Hypnotoad.
No, Hypnotoad. I didn't say anything bad. No.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
Speed.
And so, if you're on a very well organised press event, once you got to the airport, you'll be shepherded into a little room like this. It's full of tiny pastries and real journalists. We're cleverly disguised as 2 people that know what they're doing, and we're very lucky. So, over there at the desk, you've got the best. That's Dan. He's a legend. He's the chap that keeps bringing us all these things, giving us all this food.
Can I go get my food now?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? What are the chances, eh? What are the chances? Amazing. Do you want to talk that?
Yeah, go on.
Oh no, we're not.
Yeah. Move around. Get the cars in the background.
The cars are there.
So the next stage on a press event is you'll go to a lovely... Now normally, they're not all quite so neatly lined up and identical, because often you'll have a variety of different cars to test. There are a variety of Kias on offer for this thing. These are all the brand new Pro Cee'd GT line 1.4 S's, so they're the kind of top spec car in terms of equipment and trim level.
They're really pretty.
They are really pretty, actually.
That's a stunning blue.
I hadn't seen one before. It's called Blue Flame.
I mean, I like blue cars, but that is a really,
Now,
really nice
here's
car.
where things get different and interesting. You see, most of the journos are going in, driving the car, they're going off, they're having a very nice lunch or two, then they're going to drive to the hotel. We've been given special permission.
We've gone rogue.
We have gone rogue. We are pinching a car, we are heading into Barcelona to get him a tapas lunch.
So I'm hungry.
And I'm hungry, and I fancy tapas. And when in Rome, eat tapas.
Barcelona. Rome's that
Yeah, but if I was in Rome, I'd probably have some tapas as well.
Would
Or
you
pizza.
a pizza, surely?
I would have a pizza here, but the tapas is good here.
Let's go have
Anyway,
tapas.
let's go have tapas, and so then we're going to actually... And it's not until we get there that we're going to actually start filming for the proper video.
Because we don't actually know what this is like yet. We've got no idea
Yeah, we've
to
no
talk
idea.
about it.
Right, let's go. We've got a little card, which...
So
You
it
getting
looks
a-
like a room key.
This is going to be our
Are you shooting my
vehicle for the
crotch?
day. No, you're obscure. Don't worry, you're safe. All right. Take that. Still rolling.
That's
Right.
fine, I'll just follow you for more. Oh, we're quite excited. Oh. I like this. This is good.
Do you have any idea where we're going? I mean, I know you've just programmed something into the sat nav, but how much of that was actually planned?
Yeah, I know where we're going. What are you insinuating? But I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, precisely.
I know where we're going. We're going to Las Ramblas.
Oh, you do know where we're going?
Yeah.
Is that actually plugged into that?
Yeah. Actually, what I've plugged into there is what it believes to be a car park at Las Ramblas. So,
I'm kind of somewhat impressed, I'll be honest. I was expecting a kind of, oh, let's go this way and find out what happens. That's how I'd do it. Oh, yeah, that's quite neat. I see I've got the more high-tech version. You just put in the code and it goes, psh.
I love this. Does the sunroof open?
Oh, love a sunroof. Love a sunroof.
Preparing the edit for unusual sound. Ooh, we're going underground.
oh, and you might have a job to do in a minute as well.
What's that?
Get the ticket.
Going underground, going underground.
Are we going down again?
Yep.
Cool.
Now turn right.
There you go. So this is La Boqueria. It's awesome. So all around the side, there's all the restaurants and stuff around here. So literally you just see one that you kind of like the look of, and then we can
I found one I like the look of. Let's eat here. Literally here.
Come on, walk through with me. Those are monster strawberries.
What I just said.
Yeah.
Strawberries. Strawberries. There are strawberries on the platter they had this morning.
A run. Oysters. There's a lot of taxis here.
I feel like maybe we're not meant to be here with all the taxis. Maybe we're a taxi.
So we are now just heading out of the centre of Barcelona, and the car we're currently in is the little blue, what do they call it, the Cee'd that you saw earlier. We actually are both quite liking this car. It feels really, really upmarket. Handles okay, I haven't really had a chance to test it properly. And we're now going to head out to the hotel where everyone is staying for the evening. We're going to get there ahead of sort of everyone else. So it's currently 3 o'clock local time. We're going to get there for about 10 to 5. So hopefully we can get there, then maybe do a little bit of driving before then getting ready for the evening. Kia always put on a really, really nice spread in the evening. I mean, and it's, you know, there you go, thank you, car. It's one of the reasons that we enjoy doing so many events with them. Of course, the company is always the main thing.
Keep straight on this road.
It's a funny old thing. I mean, we're in a really, really lucky position, and I don't know how many other YouTubers have this sort of similar sort of relationship with manufacturers, in that even on an official event, we can kind of just get given a car and go off and just do our own thing. I mean, this actually was the suggestion of Kia. So we're very, very thankful to Dan for giving us this idea. Basically, we sort of said to him, look, we'd love to come on the event and do this thing with you, but our only problem is there's, I believe, about 3 or 4 different types of car available to drive on this event, because there's another version of this, then you've got the Cee'd GT, which is what we're actually going to be driving home. That's what the main video is kind of about. But we just don't have an awful lot of time to do all of our shooting. When we were on the adventure with them in Ireland, we had the same problem. Like, we are always the first to leave and the last to arrive anywhere because we have so much to do on the way there. So he actually said to us, tell you what guys, why don't you fly out with us and drive home? Now, we're paying for pretty much most of the journey back home. They've paid for us to kind of come out here, so people often wonder about whether YouTubers get paid to promote vehicles and things like that. I've no doubt some of them do. I'm not at that stage yet. I've been paid or offered to be paid by a few companies for kind of mentions of products, and if they're products I think are worth mentioning, I'll do that. Wow, they're building a version of the gherkin. Look at that. That's very much Spanish gherkin.
Looks delicious.
Yeah.
In half a mile, keep left.
So this is Kia's idea, and we're loving it so far. And we got up, it's about a 900-mile journey home in total from Barcelona, so we're probably going to do about 100 miles today, stopping overnight not too far from Lyon tomorrow. I'm going to have a bit of a whale of a time. So we've not really done all that much filming for the main video yet. We did a little bit in the middle of the town, which is beautiful, and it's not too warm today, but it's a lot warmer than back home, so we're kind of glad to be out here. Oh, so nervous. These cars are really brand spanking new, so I'm just, you know, really hoping that no one damages them.
What's the mileage actually count on it, Jem?
556.
Wow.
So yeah, not many miles on this car at all. Now, of course, a staple of any press do is a very nice hotel, and this is another area where Kia always shine. We are staying in a place called the Hotel Paralada. Now, I've seen pictures of it. Laurie has not. We're just coming up to it, so I told him to get rolling so that he will experience it for the first time at the same time as you guys will. Now, we've just come to a sort of area where the hotel is around here somewhere. The sat-nav sort of says we've still got about a third of a mile to go. Generally speaking, that they'll signpost things. So when you get in the cars, the usual thing is that there'll be a route will have been pre-programmed into the sat-nav. With modern vehicles, it's usually pretty good because they can do multi-point stuff. All the modern Kia systems are actually pretty good, same as many manufacturers, I'm sure. When we did stuff with the older cars, when we were in Ireland doing all that sort of stuff, we had to use tom-tom systems and things to get around. And I'm not sure this is the kind of detail that you guys want, but, you know, hello. There's a Kia just going past us, so I assume that's something to do with us.
I like the idea, too. You just waved at a random person driving a Kia.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you?
Is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Wow, look at that. Oh, come on, focus out the windscreen. That looks cool. Just go in there. I would say by the Kias parked up here.
Those are the GTs. That's what we're taking home.
Is that what we're taking? Oh, that looks. I like the little cheeky GT badge on that.
Yes. So here you go. So
Look at this place.
We get a man that flags us down.
Turn your windscreen wipers off. They're ruining my shot.
Oh, the rain's going to ruin your shot in a minute.
No, it's fine.
So look at this. Got all the signage everywhere. Like, this is pretty cool. Oh yeah.
They are good, aren't they?
Kia have got this nailed. If I haven't mentioned it already, they are.
Oh, look at that with it flanking the entrance like that. We are so impressed with Kia. It's unreal.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he was going to come get the door for me. I was going to be really impressed. He didn't. I'm really hurt now.
Oh no, you're let down. You're deflated.
Yeah, no, Kia, you let yourself down.
Now this is my hotel room. It's pretty nice. We're actually quite lucky here because although Laura and I on these events travel officially as a double team, we actually do get separate rooms. We've shared before on events occasionally, and I got absolutely no problem at all sharing, but this is very nice indeed. There's the Cee'd down there. The CGT's over the side. Quite a cool place. Just a shame about the weather really. Big hotel, spa, golf resort. The bath is pretty epic. Oh, look at this. I'd also love to know from those of you that are watching and still tuned in, if you're enjoying this kind of different look at how these things work, and if you'd like more in-depth kind of how everything works, how stuff's made. I know a few people have asked about camera tech videos, so if you'd like to see camera tech videos, please tell me, put it in the comments below, and as you know, I will do my very best to try and acquiesce to your request. Toilet facilities and huge shower. Now before I go downstairs, actually, there is something I do want to show you guys first. Now, have you ever read a press release about a new car from a couple of different websites that seems strangely familiar? Well, that's because they are usually taken from the same place. So all manufacturers will have, nowadays, media websites. It used to be just a letter they kind of faxed or posted to all the relevant places that tell you about the car. Now, a lot of places will then, of course, reword this to make it sound like a more original piece, but ultimately it all derives from the same material. If you're interested, a lot of the companies have websites that you can just go onto and find. I mean, so just enter manufacturer and then media into Google, and you'll probably find a website with all their media stuff on it. Kia, for those of you that attend their events, do go a little bit next level. Again, all manufacturers will give you various things. Sometimes, you know, I mean, I'm sure on like supercar launches and things, you get interesting souvenirs and fancy stuff. But It's a little bit more basic here, but actually still very, very impressive. And this shows you some of the level of attention to detail that Kia put into some of this stuff. So we've got, in no particular order, there's a letter somewhere. There you go. It's drifted over here, which is welcoming us on the trip. And this is from, I believe, the CEO or the boss man. This tells us when everything is happening. So we need to join them for drinks at 7 o'clock. In the wine bar ahead of our dinner, which is at 8, which is very, very lovely. So a bit about the hotel. I mean, it's just standard hotel type stuff. Then you've got here the road routes and things, which is, you know, just all the stuff that's everywhere. So you've got different ways, different places you can go, bit of everything. So tomorrow, everyone's going back to the, actually this is from the airport to the hotel, and then everyone tomorrow is doing the reverse. We are not. Then this has really, really impressed me. So there's a little bound hardback thing. Even, let me show you this. The key for the room is Kia Cee'd branded. Quite amazing. In the main video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the name, because the name of the Cee'd is, there was a car before called the Cee'd, and it's actually now changed what it is quite a bit. So we'll slide this open. It's very difficult to do one-handed. So there's a little slip here which tells you about the pricing and stuff of the car. And then here we have this wonderful hardback booklet, which has been beautifully made and tells you all about the car, you know, and just the design ethos, things they've done, changes they made, specs, details, information. And this is truly amazing. This is a work of art. So when people talk about how much money manufacturers spend on press events, it's not always just in the obvious stuff, like in the hiring of a hotel and flying people out and all that sort of stuff. Someone spent thousands of pounds building and designing and manufacturing all of this stuff. It's really, really quite amazing. So that's just how well Kia do stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get ready, freshen myself up, and then head down for dinner.
Oh. Oh.
So it's the morning after the night before, which means only one thing: breakfast. One of Laurie's top 3 favourite meals of the day. Now, as you can expect, they've put on a very, very nice selection for us here, and the weather unfortunately is still rather harsh. Now, because we are leaving a little bit after everybody else, we are of course waiting for it to get a little bit lighter. And what we're about to do is, after we've had of course that copious amount of breakfast, we're going to do some little filming with a car they've actually parked through there in the restaurant, because the car that we're actually going to be driving today is the Cee'd, and what we wound up driving yesterday was the Cee'd, which actually is really quite cool and quite funky. And so I want to do a little bit looking at that car and kind of showing people what it is, so people can understand it, because they're not going to see any of that when we're driving the other version of the Cee'd. I also want to film a little extra video which I hadn't planned, because we had this sort of, you know, the usual welcome speech and all that stuff from some of the head guys of Kia and Kia UK yesterday. And this is, by the way, a Kia UK press event. Although we are in Europe, this is not a Kia Europe thing. Some manufacturers will do European launches. Actually, one reason you'll see some younger YouTubers on European stuff is if they're too young. It's very difficult to get anyone under 25 on any sort of press launch for stuff, and sometimes it can be difficult to get people under 30 on press launches for certain things because of insurance. Anyway, we're going to do a little extra film, because we found out a lot of interesting information as to how far Kia has grown and how far they've come. And then we found out yesterday, actually, when I read the newspaper on the plane, that their new e-Nero all-electric SUV crossover type thing has won What Car's best car. It's the first time in 42 years that an electric car has won that, and it's the first time that a car that's essentially all Asian has won as well. So the guys are pretty pleased about that, as I'm sure you can imagine. So we're going to get down to the important business of eating breakfast, then hopefully we're going to do some actual filming for the main video. We've got places to do the drive-bys.
Do you think that we're doing Pikes Peak? That's what I think we're doing.
Now, Now, one of the biggest issues with filming videos is finding a decent road, and we have many, many requirements when we do that. Not only do we need a road that's fun to drive, we need one that's got a reasonable speed limit, because of course we can't be driving recklessly on camera, or at least I don't like to. We also need someone with plenty of turnaround points to do all of our drive-bys. And we have lucked out completely. We looked at the map of where we were in Spain, and we looked at this little kind of, I knew a place on the coast of Spain called Cadaqués, which is not far from here. It's over there, I think. And I sort of looked at this road that wound up through this sort of green patch, all wiggly, towards a monastery. And it looked nice and tight and wiggly, and considering this is supposed to be a sporty, fun, hot hatch car, it looked like a hot hatch road. And this is the road, and it's obscene. It goes all the way up there. You can sort of see it goes right up there. It's tight, it's twisty, it's fun. So it's also absolutely freezing because we're at altitude. It's windy. Laurie's been doing a great job getting on the drive-bys. The car's been great fun. So this is a real added bonus, because the last time we were here in Spain, in Catalonia, we had a nightmare time trying to find a good road. And that's one of the reasons we ask here to give us extra time with the car, and it's worked completely. We're remembering this place. It's fantastic. We love it. So we're gonna hop back in the car now, do a few more drive-bys, then we're gonna rig the car up so we can do the sort of full driving review portion of our video. Oh, it's cold! Ah! Now that the drive-bys are done, we're going to film this portion of the review, which is going to be the nice road test on this amazing Spanish mountain road. So here's how we rig up the cars. We did do a little bit of a video on this before. Each car is slightly different now. In this current incarnation, we actually run 5 cameras on the car. 4 Sony action cams. So we're always trying to have one at the front. We always try and get it as low as we possibly can. Got this little chappy down here. This little tether, by the way, I use for if I'm on track, just to secure it on the front of the car, but we can't really with this because there's no towing eye. And then we'll try and get more interesting shots. Normally I have 1 camera on the exhaust, which Mr. Keyboard Commando absolutely loves. It's his favourite shot, and the reason that that's always there is to get the noise from the exhaust. These cameras can be, if they're in the right place, pretty good at getting exhaust sound. Now this one here is going to be capturing that little side shot here of the wheel. Hopefully we'll see that bobbing up and down. And then at the back we've got 2 cameras here. This one is going to be getting a side angle because the views around here are so spectacular. I want to get that, and this is going to be capturing the road back here. Hopefully this isn't going to interfere with this a little bit too much. Actually, I might just move it over ever so slightly. So each person has different ways of rigging up cameras and rigging up cars and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's a very sort of personal thing, I suppose. I like using Sony kit. The main camera is a Panasonic GH5 these days. It was a Sony A7 for quite a long time. Laurie uses a Sony A7R for a lot of his stuff. That's what we're currently filming on right now, and most of the behind the scenes stuff's been shot on. And then the inside, the main rig goes together here, so we've got this big system. You'll have seen it in some of the videos. This thing is nice and sturdy, so it's what we hang the main camera off. Then I have this little microphone set up here, which is actually just recording to a separate recorder. We've used wireless systems quite a few times, and generally they're quite good, but we've had a few issues. And so, but this system has been quite reliable. It's a little Tascam recorder for the sound. So, and even when it is quite windy out there, it obviously produces much better sound than a shotgun mic or something on top of the camera. You've got a lot of guys will just use the sound from their GoPro or whatever they're using inside the car.
On a day like this, it'd be useless, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be very good on a day like today. So, especially not when you're outside. So, we're just going to finalise this setup, and then we're gonna drive.
Yeah, no, it's... Bye, James. It's quite windy here.
I hope it's less windy in France.
Let's hope. Let's find out.
Clear. Oh, no, it's still windy here.
I think if anything, in France it's more windy than it was in Spain.
Yeah.
Jesus wept.
That's not the camera shaking, that's the car.
I want to get a photo.
I need to get a shot of this. All right. Wish me luck.
I'm genuinely
tell
scared.
my wife I love her.
It's not happening, is it? No!
Let's get out of here! Clear! Now, one of my own personal rules for when I'm abroad is to try and never ever eat in a chain, always eat somewhere kind of local and independent. We tried that today, however, the weather, time of year, whatever it is, we went to a town and I kid you not, every single place was not just shut, but appeared to have been shut for some time and probably doesn't open again until like May. So with time fading, and if you've been to Europe before, you know what I'm on about. If you don't eat at the times they want you to eat, you're kind of stuffed. So we're here at the Buffalo Grill, where we should at least be able to get some food. It's a French institution, the Buffalo Grill. If you've ever driven through France, you'll know about it. If you haven't, it's a wonder. It's a wonder of the natural world. So let's go and get some food.
We need fuel.
We do. Now, Laurie's basically had the hammer down for the last couple of 100 miles.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing a good solid 80. It's been very, very windy. We have only been averaging sort of around the high 20s, low 30s mpg in this car, which we would have really hoped for better, although...
It's revving quite high though, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing over 3,000 revs. It's a small engine that's working hard.
Sat at 130.
Yeah, and it is very windy, so there's every chance we're very much fighting against a headwind for a lot of this journey. So we got to fuel up, and just for the sake of clarity and for the sake of interest, like, because this is a totally unscripted like thing that Kia just let us do, like, we're paying for all the fuel that we use here. We're paying for our hotel tonight, like, and all that sort of stuff. All Kia's contribution is our ferry back and our flights kind of out, and obviously the hotel last night, and obviously giving us a car, which is awesome. So you know, that's still fine. But this video is going to cost us about...
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
Yeah, okay. It's about 200 or 300 quid to make. And we.
Where am I going? I'm a car.
Yeah, you're a car. So, and we're probably, if we're lucky, gonna get back like about that way. Yeah, we're gonna get back about
fuel this way.
Yeah, maybe about 10 quid. So if you think like all videos on YouTube make loads and loads of money, they don't. Right,
but
let's fill up. I think this car has a tiny tank. Yeah, it's an amazing. We've had a great time.
Yeah,
and we would totally do it again. So yeah, let's fuel up, see how much fuel she takes, because I think it is a small tank.
My money's on 40 litres.
Yeah, I'm not just going to take 40 litres.
No, but that's how big I reckon the tank is.
Yeah, I mean 40 and a bit. I reckon 40 plus reserve, like 43 maybe.
It's that side, isn't it?
Yes, this side. Yeah.
Let's put in the V-Power.
We're not putting in V-Power. Putting in the 95 E10.
Maybe they'll have like 99 here.
No, they got. They do. That's V-Power. Oh, that's just 98 here. So here we are in a hotel in a place called Champagne sur something. We're about 5 to 10 miles north of the centre of Lyon. We are sharing a room. We're trying to keep our budget reasonable. I got a bed. Laura's got the very nice big pull-out sofa bed through there. As you can see, as we're going back north, has got quite a bit colder. It wasn't exactly warm down south, but it's very chilly here. So it has been snowing, which it was at home when we left. So, and it is apparently snowing back home again. So it's going to be interesting to see what it is that we come back to. Something I've been very fearful of for a little while is a return of the beast from the east, the massive snow that we had in the UK last year, because that is it's a problem for me. I can't really film in the snow. I don't want too many sideways antics in my videos, so anyway, we shall see. But yeah, just keeping you guys up to date with absolutely everything. So we're gonna go to bed, hit the road in the morning, get up about 7:30, that sort of thing. A load of driving to do. We're gonna go to Reims to visit the former Grand Prix circuit, and then we are gonna head to Calais, do a load of shopping, go home. Then I gotta start editing. And this is the sight that greets me of a morning.
Good morning, my child. Have you found peace yet in your heart? I personally recommend a V8.
Alright, so we've just stopped off at the historic site of the Reims Formula 1 pits. If you want to see a little bit more about this, know a little bit more, of course, we're going to talk about that in the main video. How are you feeling, Laurie?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of very strange to have cars driving by, and it's kind of sad, isn't it, seeing something that was kind of so important to so many people abandoned and...
Yep. They've tried a couple of times apparently to sort of bring a race back here, but it's never worked. But yeah, it's wicked. So I'm glad I've been wanting to come here for so long because I've always known about it. It's like the ghost pits.
It's so strange that it's on the main road, like the fact that there's regular traffic going past. And
well, you've got to remember that when this was a race circuit, it was still the main road. That's the problem. Like all circuits, it was like a lot of them, like Spa, started off as main road. Then they decided to make a bit of it was just for the racetrack, and then nowadays it's just the racetrack. So yeah. That's awesome. So we're now going to carry on. We've just come to Reims. We've got a long way to go to Calais, and we're going to be talking now about what the car's like as a GT car. So carry, very carry indeed. So we are going through quite a bit of fuel, but that's mostly because we're doing. I
can't see a Kia. 80. I've seen Jaguar.
Yeah, there's no Kia badges up here, mate. I don't think. I'm not sure Kia even existed when this place was built. I definitely
should I go hold me lollipop up in that Kia.
And one of the joys of driving through France, of course, is the excessive number of toll roads and really expensive. Now, we have granted driven through nearly the entire country. We're only about 20 miles from the coast now. We've already spent 80 euros in tolls, and we're about to pay for another one. So we have here the ticket. I'm going to give to my able assistant because, of course, I'm on the wrong side of the car, as so many of you viewers are often keen to point out.
Well, no, we're on the right side of the car.
Yeah, we are.
But if you just went for it, we could have got through there.
No, we should not.
You could have got a bit closer.
No, I couldn't. €22.80. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give it the card.
I think I put the card in the wrong way around.
Oh, you wally. Pin first. Or chip first, rather.
I did.
Okay, alright, take that.
Okay.
Hold this,
I got
so
that.
The viewers can sound.
Green light.
Hear how nice the car sounds.
I've got 2 belts up. Belts.
Belts, brace.
Brace, go. How do you like the noise the car makes, James?
It's quite pleasant actually. Also, I accidentally put my microphone all the way up here, pinged off.
Well, my phone launched somewhere.
Yeah, your phone's here.
Oh, it's only there, that's fine.
Right, so that's potentially the last péage.
I believe that is the last péage.
And we have 21 miles to go till we get back to...
No, we're not England, we're going on a booze cruise.
We are indeed cruising and boozing.
Do you remember where we parked?
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Alright, so basically we're at the port now, and we've just finished filming the outro, the ending of the video, because I'm always conscious of how long these videos are. It is going to be quite a long video. How many people are actually going to have watched it, because I will have titled it a little bit weird? I couldn't say. But I hope if you watched that video that you really enjoyed it, and I hope you've been enjoying this, you know, behind the scenes, weird look at a very unusual and different type of video. I didn't want to pick just a normal, ordinary kind of car review type thing to do, because where's the fun in that? So I'm going to leave you guys now. If you'd like to see a video on anything in particular, please do let me know. That is my alarm telling me that I've got to make an important phone call to get some bits for the M3 sorted.
1710.
It is 1710. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.